Take one look at Kim Tae-young and you will know one thing for certain. That is royalty. That is nobility. In looks and in talent, there's just something so elite in Kim Tae-young, untouchable and unattainable. And it all started in 261 AD with Kim Tae-young's forefathers who were responsible for the unification of the Korean peninsula. That's right, Kim Tae-young is badass, just like his forefathers. But before we proceed, let me just do my disclaimer. The Kim surname is the most common in Korea and they have been used by different clans, each associated with specific ancestral seat or Bon-kwan. One such clan is the Daegu Kim clan. Historically, as I've said, the Kim surname has been linked to Korean royalty and nobility. Kim Tae-young was born in Daegu, and given the proximity of Daegu to Gyeongju, it's plausible that the Daegu Kim clan may share ancestral connection with the Gyeongju Kim clan. Just remember that without specific genealogical records, this connection remains speculative. So I can't guarantee that this is the direct lineage of Kim Tae-young, but at the very least, we'll learn something very interesting about Korean history. That being said, let's start. The Gyeongju Kim clan claims descent from the royal lineage of Silla with King Mi-chu. He is recognized as the first monarch from the Kim family, and it is this clan that unified the Korean peninsula through the leadership of Kim Yushin. So how did Kim Yushin unify Korean peninsula? In the 7th century, the Korean peninsula was a battlefield of blood, betrayal, and ambition. The three kingdoms, Goguryeo, Baekje, and Silla, were locked in an endless power struggle, each vying for dominance. But one man, General Kim Yushin of the Gyeongju Kim clan, had a vision bigger than war itself. He is the man who turned Silla into a superpower. Kim Yushin wasn't just any general. He was a strategic mastermind, a fearless warrior, and a leader who inspired unwavering loyalty. Born into the powerful Gyeongju Kim clan, he was trained in the elite, get this, Hwarang, or the Flower Knights, warrior tradition of Silla, mastering not only swordplay and combat, but also philosophy and leadership. And those two actually came in clutch. By the time he rose to power, Silla was the smallest and the weakest of the three kingdoms, constantly threatened by the might of Goguryeo and Baekje. So Kim Yushin started an alliance that changed history. Instead of launching an unwinnable war, Kim Yushin made a bold tactical move. He secured an alliance with Tang of China, the most powerful empire of the time. That was a risky bet. China had its own ambitions in Korea. But Kim Yushin played the long game. He convinced Silla's king Muyol that if they worked with Tang, they could crush Baekje and Goguryeo one by one. And he was right. In 6060, Kim Yushin led Silla's forces alongside the Tang army to annihilate Baekje. His legendary tactics forced the mighty Baekje kingdom to collapse, making the first step towards unification. And we're going to talk about the legendary tactics in a bit. By 668, after years of relentless warfare, Silla Tang forces finally crushed Goguryeo, the largest and the most powerful of the three kingdoms. With Goguryeo's defeat, the era of the three kingdoms was over, and Silla emerged victorious. Imagine that, they were the smallest and the weakest, but Kim Yushin had done what no one before him could. He unified Korea. Now I know what you're gonna ask. What exactly is this Kim Yushin's legendary warfare strategy? Kim Yushin knew that directly storming Baekje's defenses would be suicide. So instead of a reckless attack, he devised a brilliant, multi-layered strategy to crush Baekje's morale before even engaging in full combat. How? First step, psychological warfare. Before launching a direct assault, Kim Yushin spread rumors that Baekje's capital, Sabi, was already under siege, causing panic and fear among Baekje's soldiers. Some sources also suggested that spies and defectors were actually used to convince Baekje's warriors that their fight was hopeless, weakening morale before the battle even began. And they also used the terrain to exhaust Baekje's troops. Kim Yushin's forces deliberately dragged the Baekje army into prolonged skirmishes, making them fight battle after battle without rest. And that exhausted Baekje's soldiers. Next, he faked retreat. Once Baekje's forces were mentally shaken, Kim Yushin executed his legendary battlefield deception. Step 1, the fake retreat. Silla troops pretended to flee after initial clashes with Baekje, luring General Gebak's forces out of their defensive position. Step 2, the hidden counterattack. Once Baekje's soldier moved into the open, Kim Yushin had a hidden cavalry ambush them from the sides, cutting off their escape routes. Step 3. As Baekje's forces were drawn further into the trap, Silla's army surrounded them completely, crushing them in a brutal last stand. Building a war machine. Under Kim Yushin's leadership, Silla transformed into a disciplined military powerhouse, and he carried that over after unifying Korea. So, what did he do? He unified the command structure. He restructured Silla's army into a more organized, centralized force, ensuring better coordination between infantry, cavalry, and elite units. Next, Warang warriors. He refined and expanded Warang, or the Flower Knights, turning them into a formidable military elite, combining martial arts, strategy, and Confucian and Buddhist philosophy to create warriors with both brains and brawn. It also became the inspiration for Korea's national martial arts, which is Taekwondo. And just like the Warang unit, Taekwondo and the other martial arts, Warangdo, actually emphasize discipline, philosophy, and combat. He also prevented internal conflict. After unification, there were still power struggles between former kingdoms, Baekje, Goguryeo, and Silla elites. Kim Yushin used his military and political influence to suppress rebellion and keep the country together. He was also an advisor to the throne. He served as a top-ranking official under King Muyol and King Munmu, ensuring that Silla's transition from a warring state to a unified kingdom was smooth and strategic. The legacy of a legend. Kim Yushin wasn't just a warrior, he was the architect of a new Korea. His unification of the three kingdoms wasn't just about conquest, it paved the way for a stronger, more cohesive Korean identity and culture that would last for centuries. He turned Silla from an underdog into an undisputed ruler of Korea. He played geopolitics like a chess master, outmaneuvering kingdoms and empires alike. He cemented his place in history as one of Korea's greatest military leaders. And even today, Kim Yushin is revered as a hero, a man who didn't just fight wars but changed the course of history. His name is etched in legends, his tactics studied by strategists, and his legacy immortalized as the warrior who built a nation. From battlefields to global stages, the legacy of the Kims of Daegu. For centuries, the Kim of Daegu have been more than just warriors, rulers, or artists. They have been conquerors and unifiers. Kim Yushin led armies, conquered kingdoms, and unified an entire nation, ensuring that Korea stood strong against division and foreign control. Kim Taeyong, or V of BTS, commands global music charts, breaking barriers between languages, genres, and culture, uniting millions through his artistry. Different battlefields, different weapons, one legacy. From swords to songs, from ancient war strategies to modern melodies. The Kim of Daegu continue their unstoppable march, not with war, but with art, music, and an undeniable force that brings people together. They don't just follow history, they make it. And if history has taught us anything, they're not done yet. Kim Tae-young is not done yet.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun. I definitely had fun doing it, and I can continue doing more if you let me know in the comment section. Also, please like the video and share and subscribe and hit that notification button because more than 40% of those that are actually watching my content aren't subscribed. That's what YouTube told me. So please subscribe. Any kind of help will be appreciated. Also, please follow me on X or on Twitter and on Instagram. I'm starting to upload content. And also on Patreon if you want a more direct communication. It's a vibrant community. We're not just talking about BTS there, we're talking about other things, Asian entertainment, other interests, lots of interesting people. If you're looking for a space where you can actually state your unpopular opinion or ask critical questions without getting canceled or accused of something, it's the space for you. I'll see you there. Thank you.